and welcome back to my channel where we are all crime all black all the time.
She just got hair beef. Yeah. I don't know. Can you do a picture of the cancel? I don't mind. I can offer you. You want if that's your guys'? That's fine. I mean, it's good help. I mean, if you want to, you can.
Yeah, Karen, let me ask you something, and I just here I'm thinking that it's a strategically defense question.
I'm changing states 80 to I have it listed as slow down to 8. Yes. Remember, you sure? Yeah. Richard, yeah, in my list, there's states 80 is something I have not offered. To slow down video, I'm not offering. So I'm gonna change this one to be 8. This photograph that Karen wants.
Please, man. I have quit sticking my hand in it. Yeah, well, I quit sticking it in. If the defendant testifies, I'm offering those through him. And it's got his name on it.
design them up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anatomic and clinical pathology residency training that was done at the Mount Sinai Medical Center in Miami Beach. And then that was followed by 1 year forensic pathology fellowship training at the Miami-Dade Medical Examiner's Office. I took and passed my board exams in anatomic and forensic pathology. And then I hold a Texas medical license.
Okay, so I say that's a lot of schooling. I've got math is hard, and so I think that was 13.
It's
14
about
years
13 years of training, yes.
of training to become a medical examiner. And then, how long have you been a medical examiner for?
I've been a medical examiner here in Dallas County since 2008.
Okay, and then you said you did in Miami as well for a little bit.
Right. So it's 1 year, 1 year of training. So I was doing forensic pathology at that point, plus my 16 and a half years here. So about 17 and a half years.
Okay, and so that, I guess, 13 plus 17 and a half puts us at about 31 years basically of training to get you to this point, basically, right? Experience.
Correct. Yeah. The forensic component is 17 and a half, but all of the precursory stuff was 13.
And also, and I'm sure the jury knows, but let's just make sure we explain it. What is an autopsy technically? What does that mean?
Excuse me. An autopsy is an examination of the body after that person has died. There are different components to the exam. Some may just be an external examination. We're looking at the body, and then we're reviewing medical records, and then we're able to sign that person out. The body goes on to the funeral home. A more involved autopsy would include examining the internal organs of that body. And in this particular case that we're going to talk about, I performed full autopsy. So I'd be looking at the internal organs, chest, abdomen, and brain.
And just for the record, it sounds like you're sort of congested, right?
I am, yes. I'm getting over a cold. I apologize.
Okay. All right. And so, what's the purpose of an autopsy?
The main purpose is to determine why a person died.
Okay.
So, and then we establish a cause of death and a manner of death, and then fill out a death certificate.
Is being a medical examiner your only role at Swiss?
That's my main role, yes.
Okay. Do you have like a supervisory role at all?
We are also a training program, a fellowship program. So I do supervise fellows, and then rotating residents that come through, and sometimes medical students.
So just like you were a training fellow back in Miami-Dade, now you're supervising people who are training fellows.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So after you complete an autopsy, generally do you generate a report?
I do. Yes.
Is that autopsy report, you just sign it and then submit it, or how does it go?
It depends on what type of case it is. If it's what we determine to be a homicide, then what I'll do is I'll take that case and I pass it around to all the other doctors in our office. They will have an opportunity to review the case, look at it. If he or she agrees with what I say, then they'll sign off on the case, apply their signature.
So how many medical examiners are there at Swiss?
Currently, I think we have 10.
Dr. Barnard recently retired.
He recently retired, and then one of our other staff took a job in Collin County.
Okay, so I said Dr. Barnard because that was the chief medical examiner.
He was the chief medical examiner.
Okay, and you guys are technically deputy medical examiners or something, right?
The associates.
Associate. Okay.
Right. The hierarchy is chief medical examiner, then deputy chief, and then all the other medical examiners.
So that's why you guys are a little short right now because of the chief medical examiner retiring and one going on top.
Right.
While you are conducting an autopsy, do you take photographs?
I do.
Why is it you take photographs?
It's just a additional documentation of injuries as part of the autopsy file.
Did you complete an autopsy on VANTE LAMPKIN?
I did.
Would that have been IFS number 22-09101?
Yes,
Did you complete a report and take pictures in this case?
I did.
Permission to purchase.
Yes.
I'm going to show you what I've marked as State Exhibit 80 and then 84 through 89. Could you please review those? Do you recognize those?
I do.
What are 84, 85 through 89? What are those? Sorry, 80, 85 through 89.
So 80 and then 85 through 89 are photographs that I took at the time of autopsy. State's Exhibit 88 is it's a photograph of the full body x-ray that we took.
Okay, and then what's State's Exhibit 84?
84 is a copy of my autopsy report.
Okay, so all those exhibits, are those exhibits that you provided to the state of Texas, like to the prosecutor's office, right? The Dallas County DA's office? Like, I have not changed those or altered those in any kind of way, right? Other than to put a State's Exhibit sticker on them.
State's Exhibit sticker, and then the autopsy report just has a stamped copy on it. And that's
Okay.
it, on each page.
Okay, but otherwise, this is a fair and accurate depiction of all the stuff that you did in this case.
Yes.
Okay, I'd offer States 80 and then 84 through 89 for all purposes. 85 is previously for record purposes.
80, and then you said 84 for the rest of for all purposes. Correct?
80, and 80, yes, 85 was record previously.
Yes, so that's for all purposes.
Now for all purposes. All the rest of them are for all of them for all purposes.
They're all admitted for all purposes.
Thank you, Commissioner Publish.
Yes.
Okay, so first let's look at 85, which was brought up yesterday for record purposes. State's Exhibit 85 here that we're looking at. Who is that we're seeing in this photograph?
That's Mr. Lampkin.
Okay, and we see an IFS number down here. What is that? Can you explain that to me?
Sure. The IFS number, that's a unique number that's generated. So whenever a case is called into us and we determine that it is our case, that number is generated. It's a unique number. It only applies to this case and this case alone.
Okay, so this was previously for record purposes, now for all purposes. What do you guys call this photo? What do we call this photo, I guess?
It's called the identification shot.
Basically, you put y'all's case number and the face of the person who's passed away, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Could you explain something to me? What's going on right here in the corner of his eye? Did you see that?
I do. It could be some drying artifact, or it could be a little bit of an abrasion.
Okay. I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 80, and I apologize for these pictures. There's a different view of State's Exhibit 80. What are we looking at here?
This is what we call an as-is photograph. So whenever we receive the body and open up the body bag, before anything is done, we'll take two as-is photographs, one of the upper half of the body, one of the lower half. This is obviously the upper half.
Can you tell me further what this liquid substance here might be?
To me, it appears that it's what we call purge. It's just fluid that's coming from the nostrils and then coating the face.
Because we can sort of see it's coming out of his nose and then just gravity just takes it back towards his eyes and stuff, right?
Correct.
Okay, and then I think we can also see down here, towards the middle of his chest, we see the gunshot wound as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay. State's Exhibit 86. What are we looking at here?
This is a photograph of the upper half of the body after the body's been cleaned and evidence taken.
Okay. And so this wound in the middle of his chest here is what we're talking about being gunshot wound, correct?
That's correct.
And State's 87. What are we looking at there?
Again, the gunshot wound is just a higher or a closer photograph.
Okay. Why do you guys? What's this ruler here for?
It's to give an internal measurement, basically a measurement within the photograph.
Okay. And then what are we looking at here with State's Exhibit 88?
This is the copy of that full body X-ray that we take.
Okay. And we sort of see in the middle here. So most of the stuff is gray, but then there's sort of a bright white thing down here and a bright white thing up here. What's this bright white thing in the middle of the fence?
The bright white there, right centered over his spine, is the bullet or the projectile.
Okay. And then State's Exhibit 89. What is that?
That is the projectile that I recovered from the body.
All right. So then let's talk about State's 84. What is it we're looking at here?
This is the copy of my autopsy report.
Okay. And so this is the autopsy report that you generate, right?
Correct.
Okay. And we see here at the top. We see VANTE Lampkin as the decedent, right?
Correct.
We see your case number here, IFS 22-09101, right?
Correct.
We see date of death as 5/5/22, right?
Correct.
You have an estimated time of death, 10/21. Why is that listed there?
That is the time of death that's reported to us by whoever pronounced the death.
Okay, that's whoever pronounced that.
That's
that doesn't
correct.
mean that's actually when he died, right?
That's correct.
Could you explain that to the jury a little bit more?
When we deal with time of death, sometimes we know exactly when that person died. There's a witness in the room, whether it be hospital staff or family member, that can say when that person died. Oftentimes we do not know exactly when that person died. They're found a period of time later. There's no witnesses. So in this particular case, that's why it says estimated.
Right, because by 10/21 on May 5th, if the police had already arrived there and the EMTs had already arrived there, and they're the ones looking at Mr. Lampkin dead on the floor, that would have been them saying, hey, the EMT saying, hey, he's dead now, right?
When they assess the body, yes.
That's them getting there saying that. It's not saying that that's actually when he died according to your personal medical opinion.
Correct.
All right, and we also see on here body weight 273 pounds, body length 78 inches, and if math tells me right, that's 6'6".
Correct.
Yes. Okay. All right, so then we see like you sort of just measured his organs. Why do we do that?
Again, it's just part of the process, documentation of his organs and body weight and all that.
Okay. One of the other things that we saw in State's Exhibit 80 was that Mr. Lampkin had bags on his hands.
Correct.
Why would that be there?
The bags are placed over the hands at the scene to preserve any evidence that may be on the hands.
Okay, and so you make note of that as well in your report in that first sentence, right?
I do.
Where it says the decedent is received with bagged hands.
Correct.
Okay, and then we have, sorry, let's see. The decedent is a well-developed, well-nourished, 78-inch long, 273-pound black male who appears to be the reported age of 25 years old. Rigor mortis is absent. Liver mortis is posterior, red, and fixed. Could you please explain to the jury what, let's just go from here. Well-developed, well-nourished. Mainly that means he's just a healthy guy. He was a reasonably healthy guy.
Correct.
There's nothing that you could see that was disease really about him.
Correct.
Okay. And then this rigor mortis is absent. Liver mortis is posterior, red, and fixed. Let's talk about what does rigor mortis mean? What is that?
Rigor mortis is the stiffening of the body after a person has died.
Okay. And so could you explain to the jury what happens, what that process is?
Correct. After a person dies, the body will start to stiffen, the muscles will stiffen, and then eventually that will dissipate, it'll go away. It just depends. I mean, there's a timing issue to it. A lot of it depends on external environment that the person is, internal environment maybe going on inside the body. But typically, rigor mortis will be fully developed within about 8 hours, and then dissipate shortly after that.
Okay. So if let's say by the time you're examining the body, if there is rigor mortis still, you would think probably the person died within the last 8 hours, right? Usually, considering, I mean, there's also like environmental conditions like heat, how hot something is or cold something is, right?
Correct.
Okay, and could you explain that part to the jury?
As far as the heat and the cold,
Heat and cold, yes.
sure. Heat could accelerate the process, whereas cold can slow down the process.
Okay, and so the fact that it's absent, would that tell you generally, probably, maybe, as far as you would be concerned, in a normal situation, just a normal room temperature, that it would have been longer than 8 hours?
Yes.
Okay. What is livor mortis is posterior red and fixed. What does that mean?
So livor mortis is the discoloration of the skin that's caused by settling of the blood. And what I mean by that is that's a gravity dependent phenomenon that we see on the body. So if a person is lying on his or her back, the blood is going to settle towards that person's back. It goes through the same type of timing process that when we talked about rigor mortis, there's a curve to it. At a certain point, if the person has been lying in that position for a long enough period of time, that discoloration becomes fixed. Meaning if I now turn the body over to the stomach, that discoloration is going to stay on the back. It's not going to move to the front of the body.
Okay, and I apologize. I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 50. I don't know that I've shown you this one before. This is a photograph of Mr. Lampkin from the scene where he's shown laying on his back. Would that make sense based on what you saw?
Yes.
Okay, and then when they roll him over in State's Exhibit 51, that's what we see on his back. Does that make sense? Is that basically what you're saying, as to because he was on his back, the blood would have cooled to his back because of gravity?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All the rest of this basically says he was just normal, right? The rest of his front page says that he was a normal guy. There's nothing really abnormal about him.
That's correct. Yep.
Okay. You write here that he had some tattoos. There's another thing you write down here. Why do you write that?
Again, it's just a part of the documentation process. We're, describing anything that might uniquely identify this person.
Okay. Because sometimes you don't know who you have in front of you, right?
That's correct.
And so you have to sort of keep these identification marks so in case you need to figure out who the person is, right?
Right. Sometimes we've made positive identifications of body based on tattoos alone.
Okay. And then evidence of treatment, none. What does that mean? That's an area that's reserved for documentation of any type of medical intervention made by first responders to the scene, or if the person made it to the hospital, anything hospital staff may have done. So like if someone is taken to the hospital, let's say was rushed to the hospital, sometimes they put those leads on them, right? Where it's, they're trying to do life-saving measures to save someone's life. And then the as-is photo would show that that's what happened and that's how you would have received him, basically, right?
Correct.
And showing no signs of that and there's no puncture marks in his arms to show that maybe there was a needle put in to be able to send him fluids or anything like that. You didn't see anything like that.
I saw no evidence of
Right.
that.
So meaning he's got taken from the scene to you guys.
That's
right?
correct. Yes.
All right. Next thing we see here is evidence of injury, gunshot wound of the torso. Mid anterior aspect of the torso, just below the xiphoid process. Xiphoid process is where the ribs come together and there's that cartilaginous part right below your the center of your sternum, right?
Sure. It's at the bottom edge of your sternum. You can sometimes feel a little bony prominence there. That's the xiphoid process.
Okay. Another thing I want to point out here is dense gray black soot is circumferentially deposited 3/8 of an inch. Circumferentially deposited 3/8 of an inch outward, and there are several minute yellow flecks within the soot, most prominently at 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock aspect. Additionally, rare minute yellow flecks are on the skin lateral to the 3 o'clock aspect. several minute black, red, dry abrasions are the 9 o'clock aspect and extend up to about 3/4 of an inch outward. What are you talking about when you say dense gray black soot, and then what are these minute yellow flecks you're talking about?
It's specifically talking to characteristics of the wound and any type of firearm residue that may or may not be there. In this particular case, the soot and the yellow flecks are gunshot residue.
And so, and I'm going to show states 87. This is what you're talking about, those yellow flecks, right?
That's correct.
And we're seeing this sort of dark abrasion around the wound, because this is the wound right here, right?
Yes.
And we're seeing dark abrasion around. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yes, that's the dense soot, that, drying and gray-black discoloration. That's the soot, and then the yellow flecks are also part of that residue, that gunshot residue.
What does that mean to you based on when you see this generally in your training experience? What does that mean to you when you see this?
It's range of fire determination. So if you're seeing soot, that means that the firearm is pretty close in relation to the body. If you're not seeing any of that, then that can mean one of two things. Either it's from a distant range that none of that soot is being deposited on the skin, or there's something in between the firearm and the body, such as heavy clothing or a piece of glass or something like that.
Okay, a couple more things I want to point out. Projectile sequentially perforates the abdominal subcutaneous tissue, anterior peritoneal wall, distal body of the stomach, pancreas, abdominal aorta, and the first lumbar vertebral body, L1. What is all that?
That's describing the pathway of the bullet through the body. So it basically goes through the soft tissue and musculature of the abdomen, and then it strikes the aorta, which is the largest caliber blood vessel in the body, and then the bullet lodges within the spine.
Okay, and that's what that says here. Deformed apparent medium caliber projectile consisting of a mushroom gray metal core and yellow metal jacket is recovered from the L1 vertebral body. It is photographed and placed within. That's what we're talking about when we looked at in the state's exhibit. Right?
Yes, that's the bullets that is recovered.
Okay. And that's the one that we saw in the x-ray from state's exhibit 88, right? This one right there.
Correct.
So it went from the middle of his chest straight back to his spine, right?
Correct.
And I think at the bottom here you say the trajectory is front to back and without significant deviation up, right, up, down, right, or left, right?
Correct.
Then you do sort of an internal examination to show what kind of stuff was in, just what was going on with his body, basically, right?
Yes, it's just a completion of the examination, looking at all the other organs inside the
And
body.
different systems and stuff, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so then we get to toxicology, and you're not the person who does the toxicology, right?
That's correct.
But this is what was in his system at the time, correct?
Yes.
All right, and what we see is ethanol at 0.036. Do you think that means he had been drinking, or do you think that could be attributable to something else?
It's could be either he had a drink, and or there could be contribution from the decomposition.
Could you talk to the jury about that contribution from decomposition? What do you mean by that?
As a body decomposes, it's a fermentation process. So there will be alcohols produced by the bacteria and break down in the body.
Okay. All right, and then we get to fentanyl was in his system, and so was oxymorphone, right?
Yes.
What are those drugs? Like, what's oxymorphone?
It's an opiate.
Okay. And fentanyl is too, right?
Correct.
What would, sorry, let me also go down. Norfentanyl and 8-aminoclinazolam detected. What is that? 8-aminoclinazolam.
Right. The clonazepam it's a metabolite of a benzodiazepine. The norfentanyl is a metabolite of fentanyl.
And to be clear, when you say benzodiazepine, you have it listed up here and it says negative, but you're saying that there was a metabolite. What does metabolite mean?
When you have parent drug, the parent drug will degrade and be metabolized by the body into other types of byproducts, and so that's what a metabolite is.
And example of a benzodiazepine, would that be Xanax?
Yes.
Bars, as they're commonly referred to in the streets.
Yes.
So that's a common, so if someone had taken bars or Xanax, at some point theoretically it could have metabolized into some kind of metabolite like this, 8-aminophenazolone, right?
That's correct.
Okay. He also looks like had some amounts of THC in his system and a metabolite of THC, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Because that THC is this tetrahydrocannabinol, and then carboxytetrahydrocannabinol. Is that the metabolite?
Yes.
So it looks like, based on what you're seeing, there was fentanyl, weed, and at some point maybe some bars as well in his system.
Correct.
The ethanol could be from decomp. It could have been the added drink.
Yes.
Okay. And then on the back here, the last couple pages, that's your signature there, Chester Gwynn, right?
That's correct.
And then we've got all these other names as well listed as the other doctors who signed off on this report, correct?
Correct.
So if you pick the one. 273 pounds, 78 inches. Would that surprise you that Devontae Lampkin was a football player at some point in his life?
It would not surprise me, no.
There were there any personal effects that were submitted with the body that you saw?
No.
All right, so let's get to some about his time of death, because it said 10/21 on there. We said that was estimated. We also talked about how because rigor mortis was no longer present, you're thinking it would have been probably longer than 8 hours before, right?
Yes.
So let me just ask it, did he look like he had died recently, or it looked like it had been a little bit?
It had been a little bit of time.
And why do you believe that to be true?
Well, he was already starting to decompose.
Okay, can you talk to the jury about what you mean by that?
Yeah, so some of the findings, and I have a section on page 2 of my report. The stiffening of the body that had gone away, that had dissipated. The livor mortis, which was the settling discoloration of the skin caused by settling of the blood, that was fixed. And there's subcutaneous crepitus, which is just a fancy way of saying there's little air bubbles underneath the skin. So whenever I palpated the neck and the upper chest region, there were air bubbles, and that's due to the bacteria, the breakdown of the body. And then whenever I examined the body itself, the organs inside, the organs were also starting to soften and discolor, which is an indication of decomposition.
If there had been testimony that it smelled like someone had defecated themselves, would that be abnormal for a deceased person?
No.
Could you explain that to the jury?
Whenever a person, it's not uncommon when a person dies, that you lose muscle tone. So it's not uncommon for a person to urinate or soil him or herself after death.
Okay. If someone saw, when they got to the body around 10 p.m. and they saw there was like bubbling still happening at the chest, why would that be?
It could be a couple of reasons. It could be the wound is still bleeding a little bit from the injury itself. It could also be part of the breakdown or decomposing of the body.
Based on what you saw, would it be consistent with possible decomposition?
Sure.
We see on the autopsy report as well that the body got delivered to you guys, but the autopsy was done the next, because you didn't do the autopsy at middle of the night, right?
That's correct.
You would have done the autopsy the next morning on May 6th, right?
Correct.
What happens? What do you guys do with the body? Does it just sit out, or what do you guys do?
No, the body is put into one of our refrigerators.
And why do you do that?
It's to preserve the body, to prevent it from further decomposing.
Because like you said earlier, if it was in a hotter room, theoretically, decomposition could go faster, but if it's in a colder place, it could sort of stem that decomposition, right?
That's correct. It slows the process down.
Do you know when Devontae Lincoln's body was delivered to your freezers?
I do not. I don't have that information in front of me.
Okay. If I told you around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, would you disagree with me on that?
No, I wouldn't. Again, I don't have that information in front of me.
Okay.
I do see that. I do see in our investigative narrative that it was ordered to the morgue at 1:42 a.m. But I don't know what time it arrived to our morgue.
If it is believed that Devontae had been killed at 2:08, 2:09 in the morning on May 5th, but isn't found until 10 p.m. on May 5th, so about 20 hours later, would that be consistent also with your findings in terms of decomposition?
Sure.
Would it be more likely that that's what happened, or would it be more likely that it happened around 9:45 p.m. on May the 5th?
It would be more likely the earlier time.
Okay. Could you tell the jury the cause of death?
The cause of death is gunshot wound of the torso.
And what is the manner of death?
The manner of death is homicide.
And just to be clear, is a firearm a deadly weapon?
Yes.
Pass it.
Cross-examination.
Good morning, doctor.
Hi, good morning.
I too am congested, so bear with me.
All right.
Sorry, you're not feeling so good. Just a couple of questions. When we're talking about the wound and you were talking about the black soot and the minute little yellow particles, you said that that indicated that the weapon used was, I think you said pretty close. What does that mean? How far away would you put the gun to the actual wound?
So if it's a contact wound, it would be the muzzle up against the skin, and you might see a very, very thin rim of the soot. Most textbooks will say soot is deposited up to about 12 inches away. Again, that really depends on the firearm being used and the type of ammunition being used. So with that being said, we're looking at somewhere between 0 and 12 inches where you'll see soot deposition. Now, in this particular case, if you remember on the picture, that soot deposition was pretty tight around the wound. So we're probably, 6 inches, give or take. It's pretty close.
That's pretty close. Okay,
Yeah.
about 6 inches. And also the fact that you do see that soot and those little particles indicates that nothing was between the muzzle of the gun and the body, the skin, right?
No, because he was wearing a shirt. He was wearing a top, but that doesn't preclude the soot and those particles getting through the clothing. I mean, we see that happen.
But you didn't see a bullet hole in the shirt.
I can't recall if I did or not. I noticed that there's a big, going back and looking at that as his photograph, there is a big hole in the shirt. But again, I don't know if that was caused by the firearm or not.
Is it that rip that you see?
There is a rip in the
There's a
shirt.
big rip in the shirt.
Right.
But you're not saying that's where the bullet went through.
I'm not. No,
Right.
no, because I didn't examine the clothing specifically for that.
Pass the witness.
No question, Judge.
All right, may the sentence be excused?
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Before you go, thank you, Doctor.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll go to the state.
Your Honor, members of the jury, state rests.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that necessitates a break. It's gonna be a fairly short break, so take like 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll move forward. So it's not time to discuss the case yet, so I'm gonna have you go back with the
Rise.
Thank you, sir.
Everyone can be seated. Mr. Franklin, what is the defense?
Your Honor, in this particular case, the defendant, Mr.
Hold on. Please, can you hold it here? Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Franklin, will testify in his own behalf in this case.
Okay, let's stand up for a minute, Mr. Franklin. Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. All right, you want to ask some questions about that first?
Mr. Franklin, you understand that you have an absolute right not to testify in this case. And we have discussed that right with you pretty much since I was appointed to represent you. Is that correct? And you have chosen to testify in your own behalf in this case. Is that right? And nobody, we didn't force you or threaten to you or do anything to you to make you testify, right? And you're doing this freely and voluntarily. Yes. And you want to present your side of this case to the jury, right? And you have, you've pretty much been saying the same thing since I started representing you. Is that correct? And you've always wanted to testify. So I know.
Okay, let me just ask you a couple other questions. You understand too that by testifying, you open yourself up to cross-examination, correct? You don't have to answer all their questions as well as the state, as well as your attorney's questions, right? Okay. And then if you had decided not to testify, which is your constitutional right to or not to, but I would have instructed the jury that they can consider that for any purpose at all. You understand that, correct? Okay. All right, and you understand that while you can consult with your attorney or whatever, or whatnot, this ultimately has to be your decision and your decision alone, correct? All right, and this is your decision. And you're not under the influence of drugs or alcohol, correct? Nor, being treated for any severe mental health issue right now, correct? Okay. And Mr. Franklin, you believe your client is competent to make that decision?
I do.
Okay. All right, then, what we'll do is we will put Mr. Franklin on the witness stand. So when the jury comes in, you can just remain seated. Okay. Does anybody do you need to make any other type of, do you need to do anything else before?
No, I don't know that putting him on the witness stand opens up the cutting off the monitor thing. But
Judge, I would also like, and I apologize for interrupting Mr. Frank, but I think you and I are thinking the same thought of, I think if he gets on the stand, I think I can get into his drug tests too. Like he was using drugs while on bond for this offense.
Of course you can. You can get anything you want.
Well, I think bringing extraneous offenses, well,
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's go on the record for a second. Let me see you guys up here real quick.
What are they trying to do with it? It's so good. I wish you like fucking first song. And because also just for
That's
clarification.
close.
May I also ask for clarification purposes?
Yeah.
I do plan on asking him what drugs they were doing that night together. If he says I don't do drugs, would that then open the door then for impeachment purposes?
I don't think he's gonna say that, Judge.
Okay,
Then we'll cross that bridge if we get there.
all right.
Okay. All right, does anyone need a break before we go?
Yeah, let's do a break.
All right, let's take just like 5-minute restroom break. If anybody needs it, come right back. That's a fast one. That's to the restroom and back, Richard.
Yes, ma'am. There's Judge Byer. I'll be back.
Okay, that's one. Mr. Franklin, if you need to use the restroom now, if you can sign also.
Okay.
We're just getting less creative.
Can you go ahead and mark this defendant's exhibit 4, please? Thank you, thank you. This is.
Oh, hi. How are you? That's exciting. So you're, come on in here real quick while we're waiting for everybody to come back. And then if you want to get the defendant back out as soon as Karen gets back, come on up. Good morning, how are
Morning.
you?
Good, thank you.
Good. Jennifer Bennett, nice to meet you.
Jay Merchant.
Hi. So you're from
I'm originally from Canada.
Australia, you have an accent.
We're very
There's up there. A little bit up there now.
we can.
I've never seen it in person, so I'm here for 2 days. I have security downstairs. I said, you know, like, this corporate is massive.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
coronavirus is massive.
Yeah. Yeah, there's, so just for perspective, there's 34 criminal courts in this building.
Yes.
17 of us are exactly what I do, all felonies. And so they're just randomly distributed amongst the 17 of us. And so this building is all criminal, and then we have a nice building on the other side of the highway.
I went there, the civil building.
But then it's a pretty building, it's sort of money cases on it.
Well, that's sort of what originally this has to be.
We're in the opposite of Dallas. And we have the facilities that accordingly.
So I wear the big clothes.
See, I did in law school, I did a little thing at Oxford. So I saw a lot of it, but this is safe.
Yes. Nothing different.
Does the defendant sit at counsel table in the back?
So there would be another, essentially that would be here
Okay.
or in the back. And then you're sitting by yourself. They could ask safely to approach the line. Certainly, there's a gap in the back. Certainly, I would never ask any city. I understand. I would be incredibly worried if I would ask questions.
Well, to
Yes.
yes. We have. Well, when they- Can we go to Mr. Franklin on the witness stand?
Oh, yeah.
So they,
He told you when they come in, just
I know, I can see it.
same thing when we're done. We'll take it out.
Yes. I'm not in the suit, I apologize. It's just gonna be uncomfortable. Yes. Thank you very much.
okay, the Clifford's back, where'd Mary go?
Catherine, we can start with that. I think she went to go get something over here.
Okay, let's find the jury, Mr.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Franklin, when the jury comes in, don't stand up. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You.
Okay. When I'm looking for jury charges, that's what I'm doing. Because we're all, it's getting all messed up now.
Well, you can add, as he testifies, you can add in.
Well, I'm looking at all the stuff you want,
Okay.
the case law and blah, blah.
Case law doesn't matter.
Well,
What he says matters.
case law is why you're gonna get it, Richard.
Okay, good, case law matters. Yeah, we adhere to case law.
Judge, we should also get up when the jury comes in.
Yeah, I'll tell them that instruction and just stay safe if you want, or anything.
They won't get it.
They won't.
All rise.
Antoine, state your name for the record and for the jury, please.
My name is Antoine Franklin.
And you're the one who stands accused in here of capital murder.
Yes, sir.
How old are you, Antoine?
I'm 25 years old.
And how far did you go to school?
I graduated
From where?
Skyline High School.
And after high school, what did you do?
I got a job and I worked on starting a business, a trucking business and a towing business.
What does that mean exactly when you started it?
I worked on getting my LLC with my friend and we decided to buy trucks and then we bought a tow truck and a box truck.
Where did you get the money to do that?
I saved up from my job and on the side I had a side hustle.
Now let's talk about what you were doing back in 22 and your relationship with all these people here. How did you know VANTE Lampkin?
I met him through a friend within my side hustle of what the things that I was doing.
Tell the jury about your side hustle.
My side hustle is that I sell marijuana, small quantities of marijuana to people that like to smoke weed.
And how long have you been doing that?
Well, I've been doing it for at least like 2 to 3 years.
Okay, you were doing it back in 2022.
Yes, sir.
And is that how you met Lampkin?
Yes, sir.
And how long did you know him before this incident?
I knew him at least for like 3 months.
Did you get marijuana from him?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to put up here what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 42. That's a little baggie of marijuana, we assume. Is that the type of stuff you sell? Little baggies like that?
Yes, sir.
Right. And how much would a bag like that be worth to you? I mean, how much would you sell it for?
I said at least between $25 to $50.
Okay. Now, I'm going to put up here State's Exhibit number 44. What do we got there?
Those are basically like pounds of marijuana.
And are they sold like that?
Yes, sir.
And how much would one of those bags be worth?
Approximately at least from $850 to $1,000.
All right, and then these go to what? People like you?
They'll come to people like me and they'll get broke down into pieces.
And people like you break it down.
Yes, sir.
And sell them in those little baggies we just saw.
Yes, sir.
And is that why there are no scales up there in that apartment?
Yes, sir.
Because this is the way they get sold.
Yes, sir.
And they get sold to people like you.
Yes, sir.
And there's more of it in State's Exhibit number 45. And then Exhibit 43. And is that the way you knew Lampkin?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, now, how did he carry this stuff around?
Mainly in backpacks or just like different bags or under his shirt or anything, just to hurry up and get it out of wherever he'll have it at.
Now, do you know where he was living before he got this Airbnb over there?
Yes, sir.
Where?
In downtown on Main Street.
Where were you living?
I would live in downtown on Main Street.
Were you living in the same complex?
Yeah, it's a apartment complex, and it's 3 different apartments put in one for one complex.
And, did you know, Debonair Clarendon?
Yes, sir.
How did you know him?
Because he bought weed from me.
So you dealt, directly, in terms of selling weed to Debonair, right?
Yes, sir.
But he knew about Lampkin, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
And, the people that he was upset about calling him to find out where Lampkin was, who were those people?
The people that knows Lampkin from who they get weed from him. Mhm.
Is he what you would call a wholesaler?
Who, Lampkin?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And you're like a retailer.
Yes, sir.
All right, now, let's move on to Eric Garcia. You know him, right?
Yes, sir.
Can I approach?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I have to ask her, you just. I'm gonna show you what's been marked, a defendant exhibit 1, 2, and 3, and ask you if you can identify.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll offer defendants exhibit 1, 2, and 3 in evidence.
Judge, I'm going to object under relevance and character, improper character evidence.
All right, bring see the items, please.
If you want us to go a little farther before you rule, we can do that.
I'm going to sustain the objection at this time.
Okay? All right. How do you know Eric Garcia?
Eric Garcia, he buys large quantities of weed
From who?
from just people all over, just from downtown Dallas to North Dallas, where he's from.
And how long have you known Eric Garcia?
Only for like 3 to 4 weeks.
What's your relationship like with Eric, or was it like with Eric Garcia?
We really didn't have no relationship. I just had heard that he supposedly was a person that had killed one of my friends.
All right, and how?
I'm going to object, Your Honor, and ask that be stricken from the record. He said he didn't know, so he's speculating.
All right, I'll sustain that, and I'll ask the jury to disregard it. You need to not say what anyone else told you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and how did you get involved in this particular situation with Eric Garcia?
Because he wanted to. He bought some. I sold some weed to some larger quantity weed to him, and then I introduced him to Lampkin because I wasn't the person that has the large quantities of weed.
He wanted larger quantities?
Yeah, he wanted larger quantities.
All right, and based on that, what'd you do?
I inferred him to Lampkin.
And then what happened?
And then Lampkin just decided to not want to meet with him and just wanted me to do the deal, like do things third person with him.
And what does that mean?
As in, I grab the items from Lampkin and meet Eric somewhere and serve him.
All right, so how did this progress? What happened next after this little relationship got started with you and Lampkin?
We just became kind of cool and just text and we never just linked or met up with each other like on any type of occasions.
All right, and then what led up to this deal that led to Lampkin's death? What happened there?
Eric knew that Lampkin was a person of the big supply, so he just came to me to wanting to actually do something to get the money and drugs, and I just really wasn't like within the stuff to do the things. But he threatened me that if I didn't do it, that some stuff was gonna happen.
Like what kind of stuff?
Like he knew that I was a person that had my own drugs and money, and he threatened me that he would rob me in my mother's home.
Object as a hearsay.
I'm gonna overrule that objection.
Go ahead. Go
Use your
ahead.
hands.
Oh yeah, okay. He threatened me that he knew that I had drugs also that I stashed at my mother's home, and he knew that from my Instagram that I had money, and he just threatened me that if I didn't do it, it would be a problem. Like I'll become like food on his list.
All right. Did you believe that?
I mean, sort of, kinda, cause the way he like threatened me, talked to me.
And not going into what you told the police, it's on that video there, but
Mhm.
you indicated to the police that you believed that he was dangerous.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, what kind of money would Lampkin have as far as you know?
Large quantities, like large. He'll have large quantities of money at random times.
Did you indicate to Eric when he was talking to you, when he was threatening you, did you indicate to him that you could get a lot of money from Lampkin?
I didn't indicate it, but no, I didn't indicate it.
Okay. Did you tell him how much money that Lampkin may have?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and how much was it?
I just made an approximate estimate to like 20,000.
Now, at that point, when you said that amount of money to Eric, what were you trying to do? What were you trying
I
to
was
do?
just trying to really make him happy in the situation, just to make him happy after being threatened.
All right, so in order to make him happy, what was going to happen here?
He was going to have to break in and get the money from Lampkin.
All right. Now, where was this? Where did Lampkin keep the money?
Lampkin, he'll have the money on him, or he'll just have it in different areas of where he were staying.
What about this backpack we're all talking about?
Hmm. The backpack had weed and money. It wasn't. It was just like it wasn't. He wasn't having a lot of money in the backpack.
How do you know?
Cause he like when we would be together, he wouldn't have a lot of money on him. He wouldn't ride with a lot of money.
All right, let's go to the evening this happened, and we're going to talk about these texts that you were sending out to Garcia.
Hmm.
What were you trying to accomplish at that point with Garcia?
I was trying to just make his like this like his after me being threatened. I was just trying to make everything go as well planned so it can make him happy but not get no one hurt.
So were you trying to get him to just break in? Is that what you were trying to do?
Yes, sir.
Now, now this other dude up here, Williams,
Yes, sir.
John Williams, right?
Yes, sir.
How did he come to be involved in this thing at all?
He just came to be involved as just being around within around me and just me.
Why did he have to get involved in this at all?
Because I felt that Eric was a threat, and I didn't want anything to happen to me.
You didn't want anything to happen to Lampkin either?
Yeah, Lampkin or me. Yes, sir.
Now, at first, you seemed to think that, well, robbing you two would be a good idea, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And why did you change your mind about that?
Because I changed my mind because I just didn't even, it didn't feel right to me because I didn't want any guns involved in the situation.
So, when you saw, Eric and John before they went into that building, right?
No, sir, I didn't, I mean, I didn't see him, but me and Eric were texting, yes, sir.
Now, and you figured out when they could get in there.
Yes, sir.
So, when they went in there, what were you gonna do?
When they went in there, I was just gonna head home and just pray that nothing bad had happened.
Well, when you were out there in the car, or when you were riding around before you came back to the building, the building,
Yes, sir.
what were you and Lampkin doing?
Me and Lampkin was riding around. We were just smoking, and he was popping pills.
Now you told Eric via text that John or that Lampkin was mellow, right?
Yes, sir.
And you told him that there was no threat.
Yes, sir.
That's what you said in your text.
Yes, sir.
What did that mean?
As in, they didn't need that. He wasn't. It just no one should be getting hurt. He was just like accompanied to listen to whatever was going on.
Now, when they went into the building, when John and Eric went into the building, what did you think they were supposed to do?
Just break in and receive the weed and the money.
Because in the apartment there would have been money, and there would have been all of this stuff that we see here in State's Exhibit number 43, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I'm going to hand you what's been marked Defendant's Exhibit number 4 and ask you if you recognize that. Do you just may I approach? Sorry. If you offer, I'm not gonna go. Okay. We offer Defendant's Exhibit number 4. No objection.
4 is admitted.
Okay.
Mr. Franklin, let me know if you want me to put the lights down, or I think.
Yeah, no, we have to put the lights in. Now, that's a picture of Lampkin, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's the way he left you that night, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. And he has on this shirt. You saw that shirt all that time, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did it have any defects or tears or anything in that shirt?
No, sir.
And that's the way, that's the last time that you saw him wearing it like that, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, he said like that. Okay, so, once they got into the building, you indicated to them via text that Lampkin was coming in. Why did you do that?
Just to let make Eric Garcia happy within letting him know that I wasn't playing or wasn't messing around, because after him threatening me, I didn't want him. I just was letting him know that the dude, he's coming up.
What were you thinking when you did that though? What did you anticipate happening there?
Really nothing major. I just was letting him know that the person was coming up there.
All right. And what did you do?
After the situation, after me leaving,
Well, why did you leave?
I left because I was just at the rest. I was just nervous. I was just scared because I just I'm not that type of person. That's not. I don't break in houses. I don't involve in those type of environments. So I just left.
Well, you sent these two people out there, right? Or you helped them get up there? Right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And at one point, in your text that we seen yesterday, you were talking about that you didn't want Lampkin to know that you were involved in this.
Yes, sir.
So, did you expect to see Lampkin again?
Yes, sir.
Did you expect to keep dealing with him?
Yes, sir.
Now, you told the detective that you planned a robbery and that's all that you wanted to happen. What do you mean by that?
Like I say, I was threatened, so I just planned to help the dude Eric in a way of no one getting hurt, so he can receive what he wanted, and everyone could be at peace.
Did you anticipate that they would actually have any contact? Well, let me ask you this way. After you decided that you didn't want them to come and rob you too, after that, did you anticipate that there would be any contact between John, Eric, and Lampkin at all?
No, sir.
So you were at that point planning a burglary as opposed to a robbery?
Yes, sir.
That's what you were doing?
Yes, sir.
And the amount of you can turn the lights on. The amount of marijuana available up there is demonstrated in 43. That was a lot of stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
And you knew that was up there, didn't you?
No, sir. I didn't know that it was up there.
Did you know what he was doing up there?
Yes, sir.
And you had bought this stuff from him before?
Yes, sir.
So whatever they found as they broke into the apartment, they could just take. Right?
Yes, sir.
And there wasn't supposed to be any kind of confrontation between John, Eric, and Randy. Right?
No, sir. Yeah, right, sir. Yes, sir. Right.
Now, there was a lot of conversation going on via text between you and Eric.
Yes, sir.
Why exactly is that?
Just to ensure to him that everything is like all there and he doesn't have to worry about me playing around, or I just was doing everything like that because of the threatening part, and I didn't want him to think that I was playing.
All right, and you indicate in here that there would be a split. What do you mean by that?
That we were supposed to like split the money.
All right, and is that something that you thought was going to be a reality, or what do you think about it?
Nah, I knew that he wasn't even that type of person to do anything like that.
Split it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if Eric had not been threatening you, would you have gone through with this?
No, sir.
And was there any discussion about your family?
Yes, sir. Eric brought up, he knew that I stayed.
Hearsay, Judge.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Eric also, he knew that I stayed with my mother, and he brought up me having the, like I say, the thing that I was selling, the quantity of drugs that I was selling, and the money that I was having. He knew that I was. He knew that it was I was staying with my mother at the time, and I didn't want my family to be involved in Eric robbing me or threatening me about that.
Now, we have something, we have a deal here.
Judge, you got it. Have it loud.
We have a situation here. Now,
Can you please reference what exhibit that is?
It's State's Exhibit number 65. We have a situation here where Eric texts you, waiting for him to come up the elevator. And then we have a text back from you, just walk behind him, don't do it till he be at the door. Now, what does that mean? What's that?
It just means just wait till he was at the door so they could do it whatever the way they wanted to do it and to get what he wanted.
Now, at that particular point in time, you knew that that there was going to be contact between Eric and John Williams and Lampkin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, what did you think about that?
I really didn't think too much of it because I really just I didn't think too much of it because I didn't even know how it was all gonna happen because I don't know who had a gun or whatnot.
Did you anticipate that if they were going to go into that room, they could go in when he got to the door?
Yes, sir.
And then after that last text that you sent, just walk behind him, don't do it till he at the door. After that, what did you do?
After that, I was in the Uber and I just went home and I just thought about everything and I just was just thinking about everything. And I was just hoping everything went well to the point where I'll be able to just make sure Lampkin was good within the situation after me being threatened by Eric and all of those things.
Were you in the Uber when you sent out that last text?
Yes, sir.
At any point, did you just think about keeping Lampkin down there in the car while those two people went out to do the burglary?
Yes, sir.
And why didn't that happen?
Because Lampkin was tired and he wanted to go upstairs.
How out of it or how relaxed was he?
He was relaxed. He was relaxed. He was off of the pills, so he was just relaxed. He was like regular. He wasn't just all too, moving around. He was relaxed.
You tell me what's okay. Now,
Like the next day, the dude, what is his name? The dude that was buying the weed from me, he reached out to me and was like, he just had reached out to me. Yeah, Debonair.
When did Devin Air reach it? The next day?
Like the next day, later on that night, he reached out to me.
And he, did he, not going into what he said, is that when you found out that Rankin was dead?
Yes, sir.
And how did you feel about that?
I feel kind of, not a good way. No, I didn't feel good about it.
Now, did you ever see, did you see Eric after this happened?
Never saw him.
Did you talk to him?
No, sir.
What was your feeling about Eric after you found out that Rankin had been shot?
I just felt as like he just was a bad person through everything. Like even within threatening me, and I just felt like he just was a person I should have never ever like dealt with within the business that I was doing on the side.
Were you, were you still scared of him or what?
Yes, sir.
What did you do in that regard, if anything?
Of me being scared of him, I just try my best to never run into him or like get into any touch with him again.
Did you ever see Eric with a gun?
No, sir. On Instagram, I did.
And how did you communicate with him on Instagram? How did you even look on Instagram to find this guy?
He reached out to me. And then I told you what I told you within the situation of my friend passing away.
And you told that to the cop?
Yes, sir.
To the detective?
Yes, sir.
And you saw what you saw on Instagram, right?
Yes, sir.
Did that make you feel confident that you were truly threatened?
Yes, sir.
Now, you didn't have a gun that night, did you, or did you?
No, sir.
When you're selling this, maybe the lights get you. I'm gonna put back up State's Exhibit number 42. When you're selling these bags of weed like this, do you carry a gun?
No, sir.
And, when we have product of this nature as demonstrated in State's Exhibit number 43, State's Exhibit number 45, State's Exhibit number 44,
Mhm.
whoever had this stuff would want to protect it, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's the drug game is dangerous, correct?
Yes, sir.
And having quantities of marijuana like this would be a temptation for other people out there to get their hands on it.
Yes, sir.
Do you know how many people were involved with Lampkin in this drug business?
Lampkin was a big supplier, sir. He was a big supplier. He supplied a lot of people. Yes, sir.
So, you said lots of. And so that was that something that was that common knowledge out there in your world?
Yes, sir.
Okay, pass it with me.
Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Franklin. My name is Jacob Zachariah. I'm the prosecutor on the case. I have some questions, and if I ask anything that you're not sure of what I'm saying, just ask me to rephrase it or repeat, and I will, okay?
Yes, sir.
Let's start from the beginning. What was your job?
I worked with my mother at Family Dollar as a stocker, and then I had a business, a LLC trucking business.
Okay. And so when you said you saved up money to be able to buy a box truck and a tow truck, that was from working at Family Dollar?
Yes, it was working at Family Dollar, and I also said that I had a side hustle with it.
Okay, so selling weed, and so the basis of your LLC is proceeds from drug sales.
No, most of it was from the checks that I was saving, and me and my friend actually.
Family Dollar.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. You said you sell a small amount of weed. What is a small amount of weed?
Small amounts of weeds are like $25, $50, $100 worth of weed.
So you wouldn't have that much, like even one of those bags. You have one of those bags with you?
Yes, I will have one of them.
Okay, so you buy it in a.
Yeah, I'll buy in a big bag and I'll bust it down.
Okay, and so try to do your best. I'm going to ask the question and then wait till I'm finished asking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's going to be hard for her to be able to type down when we're both talking. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think you said that when Devontae was carrying it around, you carried weed in his backpack or under his shirt, right?
Yes, sir.
What do you have under your shirt there in State Exhibit number 94?
It was just a bag of weed.
Okay.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
You were also just getting weed at that point too, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you were concealing it under your shirt.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that is you, right? In the video that we saw?
Yes, sir.
You said that Debonair called people who Devontae got weed from. How do you know that?
You said my lawyer said that Debonair said that people called him looking for Devontae. That's what they said. That's what you.
I'm saying you're questioning with your attorney.
Mm-hmm.
He asked you, who did you hear from? Like you started volunteer information saying Debonair called the people who Devontae buys weed from. That never came up before you said it just now.
Yeah,
so I'm saying, how did you come up with that information? Where did you get that information from?
They say it again. Say it all over, sir, real quick.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
When I asked questions of Debonair, nothing ever came up about him even buying drugs.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, Debonair buy weed. Okay.
Hold on. What I'm saying is, you said to Mr. Franklin, your attorney, that the people that Devontae was buying weed from, you knew that they were spoken to by Debonair.
Oh.
How do you know that?
Because me and Debonair spoke on the phone on FaceTime.
You're saying Debonair told you that?
Yes, we spoke on the phone on FaceTime the next day.
How often did you and Debonair talk on FaceTime?
Not often. Not often.
Your phone records would back up that you had spoken to Debonair.
Yes, sir.
So if Debonair's phone number is not in there, then there must be something wrong with the phone records?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You also said that Eric was trying to buy weed directly from Devontae, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why did you not tell him, hey, there's weed? I just got my bag. I mean, where'd you get that bag of weed from? From Devontae, right?
Yes, sir.
You probably got it when you were up in his room, maybe?
No, I got it. And he had when I met up with him, he already had it in the car.
Okay.
I never went in the building with him.
Do you think that was probably his last bag of weed that he gave you?
He actually had two. He had like 2 bags, but he actually sold one.
Okay. The
With
reason I'm bringing that up is, at no point did you ever tell Eric, hey, there might be some weed there. Go look around for some weed, right? You never said that in any of your messages, right?
No, sir.
Right. Why would you not say that if that's what he's looking for? if they already had that set up
Mhm.
to where he was trying to buy weed from Devontae, why would you not say, hey, there might be some weed in the house. I just got some myself. You didn't say that. Why not?
Because that wasn't what he was worried about.
You just said that you were trying to set up a deal. That's what you said you were doing.
A deal before all of the things. That's not what he was worried about. The deal was just to get to he wanted to buy a large quantity at one point in time. That's not wasn't what you're saying. It wasn't that.
That's not what I'm saying. That's what you said.
I know, yeah, I know what I said, but I'm saying that's not within the time of what I'm saying. The deal.
Sorry, go ahead.
You can talk, sir.
You're saying that was from a before time that he was trying to get weed.
Yeah, yes, sir. Before time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at any point, so Eric knew of Devontae, right?
Yes, sir.
Why would you never say in any of these messages that it was Devontae who you were with, if Eric already knew about Devontae?
Because
He said, there's friendly. I need you to rob this guy who's barred out. Friendly with me in his car. You didn't say anything about Devontae in pages of messages. You never said, oh, it's that guy you were trying to buy weed off of. Or, oh, hey, I just got weed off this guy, so he's got money.
Yes,
you
sir.
never said anything about that. You just said, there's a guy with me right now who has, that needs to get robbed. He's barred out. He's friendly. Never anything about Devontae mentioned, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You never told Eric about any weed being in the room, right?
No, sir.
Okay. You just said to get 20. And to be clear, when you said 20, you meant $20,000.
Yeah, approximately.
Why did you think that Devontae had $20,000?
I just he had told me that he had been selling weed all day.
And you just came up with a number of 20,000 off the top of your head?
Yes, sir. Approximately. I said approximately like 20, because I know that he told me that he had been selling weed throughout the day.
Right. Did he tell you how much weed he had sold that day?
Like a few pounds of marijuana.
Okay, and I think you said earlier that those bags were a couple pounds, right?
Yes, sir.
And I think you said that those would sell for $850 or $1,000.
Yes, sir.
You're saying he told you he sold 20 bags?
No, he said he sold it. He said I moved a few bags to throughout the day.
So where did 20,000 come? That's what I'm saying. I don't understand your math.
I'm saying with him saying that he sold approximately some bags today, that'll be an amount of how much a person will make on selling the weed. You don't sell a lot of marijuana in one day.
All this weed that we see here, you said, let's say it's $1,000, right?
Yes, sir.
1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000. Let's say there's another bag in there, 9,000.
Yes, sir.
Where are you coming up with 20,000? That's what I'm saying. Where did that number come from?
The number is just a approximate number from a person that sells tons of marijuana. That's a number that a person that sells marijuana will make within selling large amounts of marijuana like this, sir.
Part of the questioning that Mr. Franklin said was, especially initially, later on you corrected yourself, but initially when you were testifying with Mr. Franklin, you said that you were expecting them to go up there and just get the money and the weed and leave. And then you were saying later on, oh, actually, I didn't know that weed was there, right? Do you remember changing that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why did you change your testimony?
Because I really didn't know any weed was in there because of what he told me before I left the building. Before I left outside, he had already told me that he had already moved everything that he had within that day.
Okay, let me rephrase that. You said one thing. Okay, you took an oath to tell the truth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You said one thing about you knew that you sent them up there to go get weed and money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you first said with Mr. Franklin.
Yes, sir.
That's a lie, right?
It's not. I mean, I just said it. I said it wrong.
You just said stuff wrong.
Yes, sir.
That's the only thing you've been saying wrong today?
Yes, sir.
I think you also said you were worried you become food on his list.
On Eric's list.
What does that mean?
As in, like, he's a robber, so
You're saying he was dangerous.
yeah, he's there. Yeah, and a food on his list means he already threatened me, so a food on his list was I'll be a person of him wanting to take from me or come to my family house and do the worst scenario.
Okay, what's the worst scenario?
Him breaking in my house or robbing me. Simple.
Okay.
For my little quantities of weed and my money that I have saved up.
Did you think that he might kill you?
I mean, he could have.
Because when he asked you earlier, you said that he threatened you.
Yes, sir.
Right? And you said that you sort of kind of believed it.
Yes, sir.
But you didn't really believe that would happen, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So you sort of believed it, but you didn't really believe it.
Yeah, because I mean, he could have did it when I wasn't there. That's what I'm saying. He could have did it when me and my family wasn't there and just did a break in.
Could have did it, but you didn't really believe it.
Yeah, it's could have. It's a 50-50. But if I was there, then he could have horned me. He could have horned me and did some things to me for my belongings.
Okay, and so basically, just say you're scared of Eric. You think Eric is scared of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This whole story, by the way, did you ever tell the police this story about how scary he is and how he threatened you and how you had to do this because he had threatened you? You never told the police that, right?
No, I didn't because I was just so with me being interviewed by the detective. I was just so at the risk and stressed about the whole situation.
How long did that interview go for?
It went for a minute, like 3-4 minutes.
Hours. It wasn't 3-4 minutes. It was hours.
Yeah, I guess hours, but it was hours, but it went for us talking. It wasn't that long because, like he said, like the detective said, he was in and out of the room doing other things.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what I'm saying is this story that you've now told the jury has never come up until just now today, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in that you've never told anyone this story.
Yeah, I told it to my lawyer.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
But when you were telling on John and Eric doing all this stuff, because to be clear, the other person involved was John Williams, right?
Yes, sir.
And when you refer to, I need you to go pick up my brother, you're referring to John Williams, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And in that situation, when all that was going down, you said all this stuff that Eric was doing, all this stuff that John was doing. At any point did you say, and also, by the way, police officers, Eric threatened my life, that's why I had to do this. Wouldn't you think that would have been a good thing to tell the police at that point? Maybe you wouldn't have got charged?
Maybe, but I like I said, I was just so at the risk and stressed because I didn't. Apparently, I didn't even want to be known as a person that just telling on people.
But
That's
you did though, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Because I wanted to tell the truth.
Okay.
I mean,
so you
I
wanted to
mean,
tell the truth
I
then,
mean-
but you didn't tell them about this whole duress story then. That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying I wanted to just be more honest to the detective, and then, like I said, I was at the rest and stress. I just said I need a lawyer. I just decided to I just need a lawyer so I can talk to my lawyer about the whole situation.
But you could have been more. So that's what I'm saying. You're up here saying you wanted to be honest.
Yes, sir.
You could have been more honest then, right?
Yes, sir.
You could have been more honest today when you started testifying too, right? Because you already agreed. You told a lie. You said it was wrong what you told. But you did tell a lie.
I
You
did.
said
A lie about what?
and money, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so this scary person, you said you owed him money?
Eric.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How much money do you owe?
Just like $1,200.
$1,200.
Yeah.
You owed him $1,200, and your plan was to set up Devontae Lampkin, someone who would you have considered him a friend?
We were just associates.
Associate.
Yes, sir.
You would buy drugs off of him and set up him to get robbed, basically, right?
Yeah, it wasn't, but it wasn't to set up him to get robbed. It was for just to break in, for them to break in.
Need you rob us? What do you mean you weren't trying to set him up to get robbed?
Yeah, that's what being me saying rob means it's different levels of being robbed at the time.
behind him, don't do it till he's at the door.
Mhm.
Meaning, you're waiting for him to get there. What do you mean you're not trying to get him robbed? I don't understand.
I mean, I didn't, like I said, it wasn't for him to get robbed. It was for them to break in. It's messages where I said break in too, sir.
Yeah, there's one message about break-in.
Uh-huh.
There's stuff about wait for him to get there. He needs to get there. He's coming up the elevator. All those messages setting him up to get robbed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you owe a scary person $1,200,
Mhm.
and your idea to get him $1,200 is to have him go rob someone. That's your plan. I found you an opportunity to commit a crime.
I mean, after me being threatened, I was threatened.
I got that.
Yeah.
You were threatened.
Yeah, I was threatened.
You were
Yeah.
threatened. But that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense to me. If someone is scary and threatening you, why would you tell him to go rob someone? Why would you just why would they have you do the robbery then?
I mean, why wouldn't he have me? You say why wouldn't he have me do the robbery?
Yeah, if he was scary and like threatening
Because I'm not a robber. I don't rob people. I don't rob people, sir. I don't rob people, sir.
I'm go up and just take everything. That's you saying you're gonna do that.
Yeah, that's not a robbery, sir.
Oh, because he's a breaking in. You're saying you would
Yeah,
burglarize his home.
it's like a burglarize. Yes, I'm not. I don't rob people, sir.
You would have invaded his home, but you wouldn't have personally taken. How would you plan on getting up there with him in your car? In his car? You're with him in his car. How do you plan on getting up there?
I was gonna if I could have went up there with him if he wanted me
So
to.
you would have gone up there with him.
Mhm.
And
If
gone to his home. Hold on.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop, both of you. One talks, then stops, then the other talks.
Yes, ma'am.
Both of you stop talking over each other.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So your plan was follow him upstairs because you go upstairs with him.
Mhm.
Right? Correct me if I'm wrong, okay?
Yeah.
Don't correct me in the middle of the sentence. Your plan was to follow him upstairs and take his things, but not rob him?
Basically, not rob him. No, not robbing him. No, sir. Basically, yeah, not robbing him.
So as long as whatever he had on his pockets, you were going to leave there, but everything else you would have taken.
I mean, just whatever to make Eric happy. Like I told you, sir, I was threatened. That's like I told you. I was threatened. Me and my family was threatened. That, like I told you.
Yeah, we got the threatening part.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so scary person, you owe $1,200 to. You say there's $20,000. You somehow convince the scary person who you owe money to come commit a robbery,
Mm-hmm.
or I guess home invasion. You convince that person to come do the home invasion from somewhere else because they weren't there, right? They had to drive there, right? John and Eric had to drive there, right?
Yes, sir.
You convince them to come to this robbery,
Mhm.
home invasion, according to you. But you were expecting a cut.
I really just said that to make Eric feel like apparently happy and know that he's finna receive money. Simple.
He knows he's gonna receive money. He's going up there to get $20,000. What are you talking about?
I mean, he doesn't know that if I'm not letting him know that, sir. If I'm not letting him know that he's finna receive anything, he wouldn't have knew.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So he knows he's about to go get that $20,000.
Yeah.
Why would he think that you're gonna get any money?
I
You know what I'm
mean,
saying?
yeah. I mean, what? I don't get what you're saying.
Let me rephrase it then.
Mm-hmm.
He knows because you told him there's $20,000 with Devontae.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah.
So he's thinking, I'm gonna get $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he be concerned about you getting a cut?
Because I mean, why wouldn't he? I just feel like it would look good to just make it all make sense.
It would look good to split the money.
Just not really, but it would. Like not really look good, but to make it look good in behalf of me telling him that the money was there, and that would make him just not want to do anything to me, and maybe just make me, you know what I'm saying, out of this equation.
That's why he asked you if we're gonna split.
Yeah.
And you said, I'm gonna give my back end for my brother.
Yeah.
Split it with my brother. I'm gonna get my cut in the morning.
Which I never got anything.
I'm not asking if you got a cut or not.
Yeah.
But just to be clear, when you're saying, that means yes, correct?
Yes, sir.
So, scary man who you owe money to, you've convinced him to come do a home invasion and robbery of a dude. Just by the way, how tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
5'8".
Yes, sir.
How much you weigh?
Like 190.
You're bigger than John and Eric, though, right?
No, I'm not bigger than Eric, I think.
You are bigger than Eric. You don't know that?
No, I don't know that.
Okay.
You know.
John is skinny, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
I guess so. Yes, he's skinny.
Sorry, and when I say is that a yes, it's because you said
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. Both of them are much smaller than Devontae, though, right?
Yes, sir.
Devontae's a big dude.
Yes, sir.
6'6", 270.
Yes, sir.
Your thought is, I'm going to convince Scary Eric to come and do a home invasion on a 6'6", 270-pound dude. Not going to physically rob him, just break into his home behind him, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Your plan, right?
Yes, sir.
And that he's not only going to split that money, but he's going to give you and your brother 2/3. Because you're saying, I'm going to get my cut from my brother. Meaning, brother's getting a cut, and you're getting a cut, and then Eric gets a cut.
No,
right?
basically, yeah, not really. Basically, they were just gonna. I had him. They was gonna just split the cut, and it was just gonna be from that. And I was just gonna receive my cut from the other person because I didn't want any dealings with Eric. Cause yes, basically, yeah. So it's basically.
Why would you, if you're scared, why are you even trying to get any of this money off of him? Why wouldn't you say, here's the money, go get it from him. I can't get the money for you. Go get the money yourself. Let me just stay out of this. Why would you say something like
I mean, I get what you're saying, but it just wasn't. That's just not what I was thinking at the time.
You were thinking, I'm gonna get my cut too.
Yes, yes, sir.
I think in your testimony also, you were asked about what you were afraid of, and you said that they would come rob you too.
Yes, sir.
Who you were worried your brother was going to come rob you?
No, I said. I mean, I'm speaking as in Eric.
Okay, then why'd you say you were worried they were going to come rob you?
I mean, I'm just speaking as an Eric. It wasn't the other person. But Eric, as isn't anything, Eric runs with other people, so that could be, yeah.
You said when Devontae went upstairs, you weren't expecting anything major to happen. That was another thing you said. You remember saying that?
Yes, sir.
You don't consider home invasion a major thing?
I mean, not, within, not really. Of what, however it was going on, I don't consider it a major thing. It just, things like that happen. Things happen. Like things happen. People.
So then how are you scared of him threatening you that he would break into your home and steal your stuff?
Because it's because I know he would do stuff like that.
You just said that's nothing major.
I'm saying it's not major, but it's a major thing. I got threatened, and it is a major thing. That's what I'm saying.
But again, you also said about that threat that we've been talking about,
Mm-hmm.
that you didn't really believe. You sort of kind of believed it, but you didn't really believe that he would do it.
But I mean, it's like I said, it's in my head on what I believe and what I know that, like I said, from what he's the type of person he is.
Right, and you said you didn't really believe it.
But I mean, I got threatened, so I don't know what a person that wants money and rob people. I don't know what they'll do.
Okay, so you said you weren't expecting anything major to happen. Did you think possibly something could still happen though?
Not somewhat. Because of the person wasn't he's not a person that would just like go with the move of not even fighting back or whatever happened in the building, which I don't know. I wouldn't think nothing would happen.
And when you say he there, who are you referring to?
As a Devontae, he's not a person who seemed to, if he would just, it'll just probably just go with the flow, give him the cash, because things like that he done told me happened before. Like things like people, yeah.
So a 6'6", 270-pound dude
Mm-hmm.
who sells marijuana
Mhm.
in bag amounts, right? Poundage.
Yes, sir.
You're saying that dude is just gonna let himself get robbed.
I mean, who would just put a gun to you, or if anything, or you being robbed? Why would you? You know what I'm saying? Why would you not let? Why would you fight back or anything?
You just mentioned a gun.
Like I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. If you saying robbery or whatever, as in him being shot or whatever, he had to. Why would you fight like that? Because if Eric was to come to me and home invasion and me being robbed or whatever, why would I fight? Like, why would I? I'll just raise my hands and give it up.
So that's what I'm saying. You were worried Eric or John might have a gun and something could go wrong, right?
I mean, something could go wrong, but I don't know who. I don't know who had a. I don't know who had a gun. I don't know if they had a gun or not. I don't. Truly, I don't.
Okay, but you were worried that might be the case.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You were concerned that someone might bring a gun to rob a 270-pound, 6-foot-tall dude.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
I think you said also that you didn't see them out on the street that night, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that yes? You did not see them?
Yeah, I didn't see them. Well, like I didn't. Yeah, I didn't see them.
Why did you go like this then?
Like I'm saying, are you saying before the time of before the me outside of the building?
Yeah, that's what your attorney asked you.
No,
You
oh.
said outside the building, and you said no.
No, I thought that he was saying like before the situation happened. That's what I thought, sir. I misheard it wrong. But that night, within like outside of the building, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I did.
Okay.
Mhm.
You saw them.
Yes, sir.
So that was another thing that you misstated.
Yeah, yes, I didn't hear him correctly. So I thought that he meant like before the hours before or anything like that. That's what I thought.
He didn't say hours before.
That's
He
what
said
I'm that night. That's what. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When he asked you the question,
Mhm.
he said that night of the incident, you were saying just earlier in the night you had not seen them?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, sir. Early in the night, I did not have seen them. That's what I was saying.
And to be clear, when you are waving them in, that's you saying go get it, right? Go get up there now.
I was just waving them in, as in just like it's to get the door, to break in, go on and just break in.
And the part that I'm confused about is if Eric's in charge of this, and you're just sort of along for the ride under duress,
Mm-hmm.
why are you directing Eric to do anything?
Because I wasn't directing him. I just was, like I said, I was at the risk, and I had to play up my part, as in to let him know that I wasn't trying to mess him over or anything within everything. I wasn't trying to become, like I said, food on his market, because I know the type of person he is, and I didn't want him to be in any kind of feeling that I was trying to do anything slick.
So you were under duress when you were in the car with Devontae?
Within Devontae, in the car, Devontae.
You were under duress?
Yes, sir.
That was you under duress, waving like this. In that picture then, you were under duress?
Yes, sir. I was, because of the threats that we had already talked on before the situation. of him knowing of just everything. Yes, sir.
When Eric said, how he finna make it back, and he said he finna drop me off, bro, easy, chill out. My brother gonna get him. What's that? What do you mean by my brother's gonna get him?
It just was like, basically like, bro, my brother or whoever the person is was just gonna get him, just get him.
But so let's not do whoever the person was, because in this situation there are specific people involved, right?
Yeah.
When you say my brother gonna get him, you mean John Williams is gonna get Devontae LAMPKIN, correct?
I guess you could say that.
How is this not a robbery? That's what I don't understand what you mean by this is not a robbery.
I mean, because you could say it wasn't, I can't say it's a robbery because like I said, I told them to break in regardless.
But I can say it's a robbery, right?
Yes, sir. And, okay.
So go ahead, what is he gonna get him?
No, it means nothing to me. It doesn't mean, I said he's gonna get him as in he just gonna get him. Like, that's what I meant. He's gonna get him. Like, he's just gonna hold him. That's what I meant.
Okay. You're saying that you were gonna have John Williams hold Devontae LAMPKIN?
Maybe so. Yes, sir.
Okay, John Williams is maybe 5'10", like less than 150 pounds, right? Skinny dude. You're trying to tell me he's gonna get a 6'6", 273-pound dude?
I mean, he could. He could hold him, as I said, hold him. That's what I. It's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard, sir. It's not hard to hold a person. That's what I'm saying. It's not hard to hold a person by their clothes.
It is if they're high on Xanax and fentanyl, and they're so high that, as you said, he's barred out. And this line right here, he dead for show.
Yeah, that man is like he was just like he was just cool on the pills. Like he was just more like laid back. Not as like dead, like he's dying. No.
I didn't think he meant he was dying. You were saying he was so barred out that he was almost passed out.
Yes, sir.
In fact, you FaceTime that, or you Instagram video called him that night, right? Showing how barred out he was.
No, I did not, sir. We talked, but I didn't show Devontae. Oh, he's no, I did not, sir.
You were here earlier when the detective and I were going through these messages, right?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, just to be clear, this whole time I've been referencing state 65. I apologize for not saying that earlier. Okay. Right when we were going through this message.
Yes, sir.
All right. And I asked it of him, and you heard me asking it probably.
Yes, sir.
Let me just make sure you did.
Yes, sir.
Repeatedly, Eric tried to suggest a different plan of action.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And every time you would correct back to your path.
Yes, sir.
Would you not agree with me then? That makes you in charge of this.
No, sir. As in, because Eric, like I say, Eric, I was at the risk, and Eric, in the messages, it shows where he actually wanted to say, walk me to do something, and I didn't want to assist of that because I didn't want anything to go wrong or nothing like that with me being in the situation.
That's exactly right. You didn't, because if you were under duress, you would have had to go do that, right?
I mean, I was under duress. I didn't have to go. I had already did everything he wanted me to do, sir. As in making it where he could get in the building and either break in and do whatever he wanted to do, sir.
No, what he wanted to do was get his money, right?
Yes,
He
sir.
didn't say, I want to go rob somebody tonight. Let me know if you got someone to rob tonight, right? Is that what he said to you?
No, that's not what he said.
No, he wanted his money. He didn't really care how he got his money.
Mhm.
You're saying that he wanted to go rob this dude, right?
That's like that's it. That's what he insisted of. And he texted me and said that if you read the text messages.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he's giving a different plan. If you're under duress, why not just go with his plan? Why are you trying to reassert your plan?
Because I just didn't want, because I'm already at the risk and I didn't want his plan to be a plan where I just wanted everything to go is not where it went left or where it goes bad, sir. That's why.
Let me ask you that. What does duress mean?
Duress means you're at like you're threatening, you're in duress. You're threatened because someone wants something and you have to either do it or something might go wrong to you. That's duress. Or what does it? Yeah.
Okay, and so if that's duress,
Mhm.
why do you need to be the one to make the plan? Why not just go with whatever the person who's threatening you? Why don't you just go with whatever they want to do?
I mean, like I said,
Hold on.
okay.
Let me rephrase it. You said earlier that why would Devontae fight back? He would just let himself get robbed, right? That's someone who's under duress. Someone's got a gun to them, to their chest, saying, give me all your money, give me your drugs, whatever. That's someone under duress, right?
Yeah.
Your perspective was, why would Devontae fight back under duress, right?
Yeah, that's your perspective. Or what you, why who would fight back if someone's under duress?
Apparently you, because you're still arguing with him about what the plan is.
Because I'm under duress and I don't want, like I say, I'm fighting. Who would fight? I just didn't want it to go is like however with Eric, the person who's threatening me. I don't want to make it seem like I said.
At 2:07 a.m., almost 2:08 a.m., we saw on video, that's when Devontae was already upstairs, about to get into his own apartment, and you're still telling them what to do when they're the ones up there and you're in an Uber going home, right?
Yes, like I said, because okay. Yeah, right.
All right. And so that is you under duress saying, just walk behind him, don't do it till he's at the door. That's you under duress while you're away in an Uber and they're there physically about to rob and kill Devontae Lampkin.
Yes. Because as me being under duress, I still did not want anything to go wrong. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't. And as the detective brought up, he spoke as in me letting it wasn't no intentional thing of me wanting anything to go wrong. That was never my intention, sir. And the detective said that, right?
I mean, but you did think that something could go wrong.
No, I really didn't, because
you just said earlier that you were worried something could go wrong. Do you remember saying that to this jury when I asked it of you? Just a little while ago, you said you were worried something could go wrong.
Yeah, I did say that, but nothing was my intentions of something. I was just I was worried. You have to be worried in the situation because I don't know what could go wrong. Simple. Okay.
You said you were worried, and you said that you were praying that nothing would happen, right?
Yes, sir.
What were your prayers?
My prayers, sir. Like I just prayed that nothing would go wrong, sir. My prayers.
How long were you praying for?
It's not, I pray in my head. I just prayed in my head that I closed my eyes and prayed in my head that nothing would just go wrong, sir.
You just prayed one time, said, God, please don't let anything go wrong.
No, I just said I just hope everything don't just go as clean and nothing goes wrong. Simple.
Lord, let this robbery happen nicely. Is that what you prayed for?
No, I didn't pray for that.
Lord, let this home invasion go off without a hitch. Is that what you're praying for?
No, sir. No,
That's
sir.
what I'm saying. What were you praying for?
I'm just praying that nothing goes wrong. Simple. That's what I said, sir.
Nothing goes wrong in what?
Within the break-in. Simple.
Right.
Yes, sir.
You're praying that nothing would go wrong with a home invasion that you had planned.
If you want to say that, sir.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you you pray for?
I'm saying that's what you like. I said what I pray for, that nothing goes wrong. But you're like, you're saying what you're like trying to analyze what I'm saying, but that's not what I'm saying, sir.
We offer defendants one news break.
I would still have the same objection, Judge.
Let me see the forties out here.
Sure.
Go ahead, Mr. Franklin.
We withdraw the offer.
Okay. Anything further?
Just bottom line, Antwan, you didn't want anybody hurt that night, including yourself. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
No further questions.
No further questions, Judge.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that necessitates a break. We're not gonna break for lunch yet. We're not quite done yet, so I need you to don't talk about the case. When I mean a quick turnaround, I mean like probably less than 5 minutes for this. So let me get you somewhere before we break for lunch. So go back for just a moment with the fish.
All right.
All right, Mr. Franklin, go ahead and retake your seat, sir. Okay, when the jury comes back out, Mr. Franklin,
We will rest.
We would
Okay.
close.
all right, so that'll be the close of testimony, correct? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, then we're gonna be working on, obviously, the charge, after, oh, you all can be seated. We're gonna go off the record for a couple minutes. So I do wanna talk about what Lester's, and then we'll work on the charge pretty much. So I'll have the jury come back, go over the rest and close. But I wanna talk about it for a couple minutes now, because I imagine somebody's using the restroom or something. I have some things on the charge. First of all, duress. Say, are you agreeing to duress? I don't, I mean, we'll put all this on record, but I don't think it's a race. Okay. Next, Lester. time you want.
10 minutes. I can do a lot of stuff in 10 minutes.
I would go 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Okay.
I think what I'd like us to do is, since I have the chairs ready, but I'd like you to at least go and eyeball it so that barring any like small errors or whatnot, we can go ahead and get objections before we all separate. I'll print a copy for you. Off the record, do you want to see a copy of the chart to see how this works here?
Yes, Judge.
Oh, yeah.
All rise.
All right, everyone may be seated. Okay, what further says, the defense,
The defense rest.
state?
Statement closed.
Close.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the evidence you're gonna hear in the case, but it's still not gonna be time to talk about it yet. Here's what has to happen now. The court has been working on the court's charge. I'm just about finished, so we're gonna work on that during lunch. When you come back from lunch, we'll have you back out here. I'll read as required by law, we'll read this charge to you, but you'll have a copy of it back in the jury room with you. Then both sides will have equal time to give their closing arguments to you. So we're gonna do that after lunch. I'm almost done with the charge, but I'm sure there's still gonna be some discussion about it based on how we do things here. So I am gonna break a little bit longer for lunch, but like I said, when you get back, we'll be able to go straight into it. We'll have everything ready for you. So it's 9 minutes till noon, so I'm gonna break you till 1:30 again. But we'll be ready to go right after that. So during lunch, still do not talk about the case. The evidence is all closed, but you don't have the court's instructions yet, so it would not be appropriate. Okay. So with that, I'll be in recess till 1:30. Thank you.
All rise.
Okay, we're in recess. I'm gonna run back to my office just because my printer is better there. So you guys can print your own right by email. Go to
Yes.
y'all right now. I'll
Yes.
print 2 copies for the defense and then 1 for me and 1 for our visitor. And I'll be right back with that. And then let's skim through it real quick, get the look for glaring errors, and then we'll break for lunch. Okay? Very well.
Yeah. Good.
And so that's why I think that's a I would be losing it. I feel like.
So the guy in the top right, guy on the left is actually square bag.
It was all cracked together. I really could have left mine.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you can. I want you to make it. I can argue that. And then you can fight, and then he can. And that's kind of the way we've always done it. Well, it's like blood press punch. You don't know what's always happening.
Oh, okay.
Trust his way today, right?
I was a police officer training here. The court stuff.
Right.
So, stuff with. You sprayed that your home invasion stay off the road. There's a lot of people being like, that's why I asked you. I was like, this is good. I knew that was gonna be my end. Yeah. So that's like,
And I was sitting there, and he like stood in between me and the TV and was loudly talking to Max out of the TV, like, can you move?
yeah, he has some emergency about some guy who we need to set up on
And it's not gonna
the
happen.
case has been filed. And I was like, nobody. He was like, no, this is a different situation. No, nobody.
Well, he said,
Like,
it
I'll bring
comes
it
down
in.
to 11 and said, well, but he's not wrong, so it- like, but it was like, he had commitments the rest of the day.
I was always more nervous.
And then you did, and every time I was like, and then you would. And then
It's very different. Drop the mic and then literally just leave the car.
I have nothing more to contribute. That's right, you went down. No, I think like one for you guys. Okay, SB and I. But don't worry, we'll be back at 1:30.
Where is the party?
Down the second floor. Conference room in the court manager's office. No one read the email. I said it multiple times in email. How many people do you think are gonna ask me? And it's gonna be like, I fully read it. Yes, they're best response. I didn't read the email. Where is it? Is it big several? And they have contributed. Not a. Oh, sorry.
Sure. You have my chart.
Yeah, so you'll get it. Yeah.
So for closing, I'll
1:30.
put it somewhere else.
I know.
Yeah, we can probably put it.
Thank you very much.
I think they went downstairs.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll poke my head out. Yeah, she's right there.
Okay, good. Just get it done.
And my mistake was right back. Like, beating his head against the wall. Oh, no, Alex.
I thought you meant me.
Shannon, did y'all send Alex a person back?
Why do you think it's always mine? It's always yours. You were here yesterday.
Great person, great. I didn't know all of them. They're just like lagging.
Or the definition would have been in here, I didn't know how legally got there to have to be imminent fear of death. But if the state would have agreed to put it in, I still would have been, all of a sudden, the news one of this is like it reversed. My only reversal is gender. So that's, the jury charge is the practice.
I'm saying, she has, that's the same, she's well, for the account, for after she's done, nobody else. No, you do not.
I'll point to you.
There'll be some.
And then I'm gonna leave before you.
Actually, the reason we were able to have all this done is like about what they anticipated asking for, so I could kind of decide what we're doing. And then I have help. Yeah. There's 3 attorneys on staff for all the judges downstairs, and so they, their day off was legal questions. Like they're down there now. We need to go. Because I'm up there trying to research, but for me to try to do that and research and drop the charge, we would be getting to this, late this afternoon. Hi, what's up?
Sorry. We finally were able to sign up this Thompson Mountain River PGI. It's just a fraud. The issue she's having.